we go. We are now live. Awesome to be here with you guys. My name is Kim. If you don't already know, welcome into this incredible community of like-minded individuals who want to grow, expand into their greatest potential and express that through business, through sports, through relationships, through health, whatever it is, whatever result or area you have in your life. This is the group that is going to show you the direct coordinates to becoming your best self, whatever that looks like. So it's awesome to have you guys here. I give you 15 minutes notice that I was going live, not very long, but what we're going to talk about tonight is failure. Ugh, that big awful word that we're all trying to avoid, and yet that is the wrong approach. So if you're interested in learning tonight about how you can use failure, how you can use problems, how you can use what I call resistance to actually propel you forward, then you're in the right spot. All right, I'm not going to stay on too long. We're going to give this 20-30 minutes or so, but I'm going to give you incredible value over that time. If you have any questions, pop them into the comments box. I'll keep that beside me, and if there's anything in there, I'm happy to answer and help you guys. If you have the book U Squared, you will want to grab it. I have a different version of it, but it's the same book. So U Squared is the book that we're going to read from. This is actually episode 10. So if you have been maybe binge watching me, I hope you have. If you've been binge watching Netflix, switch it off and get onto this material, because we have so much in the unit section within this group. So please use it, okay? It is free content and it is worth thousands and thousands, and it can be worth millions to you, because this is the exact information that helped me create a life of abundance and love and everything that everybody wants. Working less but earning more, having the time to do the things with your family and friends. I've just finished the best weekend ever, taking my best friend out all weekend and spoiling her rotten. So massive happy birthday again to Annika. But this is the things that this allows you to do. Like, you all have goals, you all have dreams, you all want beautiful things, you want to have serenity, you want to have calmness, you want to have balance, you want to have it all. And do you know what? You can. And if there's any little thought in your mind that you can't, that is exactly why you should be in this group, because that's not true. Okay, that's what we call a paradigm. Think of it as like the little devil on your shoulder saying all the reasons why you can't do it. Now, you know what I'm talking about. I get it too. Okay, I don't get to, get away from any of this. I have paradigms, but I have a process to follow that helps me skip the rungs of the ladder. Okay, instead of going through so much pain and not really gaining anything from it. And that's what tonight is all about. So if you have your U Squared book, you want to go to the chapter on seek failure. That's what we're going to be talking about. All right. Now, bottom line is, guys, all right, if you're not prepared to fail, then you're not ever really going to win. Okay? So I'm going to talk about failure in such a different way. You've maybe heard of it in so many ways, growing up as a child, get everything right, and that's what Price Pritchard talks about in this chapter. And we do. We run away from anything that's going to make us look that we failed. All right? We're human. That is our instinct. But is it your instinct? Or is it something that you've been taught? Because there's a huge difference, all right? Your instinct or your intuitive factor is always working for your growth. But sometimes we mix up what we think is an intuitive thought to something that we in our little minds have just decided to change it into. And it's usually the negative for us, all right? We get an idea and then we go, but blah, 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 blah. All right, that's what's holding you back, and you've got to be prepared to fail. I have failed so much. I will fail so much more. And you know what? I love it. I seek failure, and that's what this chapter is about. You've got to be really searching for what is it that stretches you. Now, I know, and I don't know to what level or degree of awareness you understand this, but I know you have no limits. Okay, I always say to people, my job is to push you to your limits until you realize that you don't have any. And that is the truth. Me, you, anybody listening to this, we all have put like a circle around where we perceive, where we believe our limits hit. And the problem is, guys, it's those limiting thoughts that we create in our imagination that keep us where we are. Because ultimately, if you've been following me for a while, the common theme that I'm teaching on is your thoughts create your reality. So if you set boundaries, if you set limits, whether you believe they're true or not, and whether they are true or not, you automatically close off any other ideas or possibilities. And that is what we call a very fixed mindset. What we've been teaching you over the last couple of weeks, especially if you caught the Level Up webinar, which is available here in the unit section, you will see you got to shift into a growth mindset. Now that's not always easy, especially not easy for some of you guys who I would call a left brain dominant person. I was laughing at lunchtime today with Lindsay, because Lindsay in my mind is a very left brain type of person. I'm very right brain. And Lindsay made lunch today, which was lovely. Very, very grateful if you're watching. However, what really intrigued me was when I make lunch, when I make a salad, I put everything in, I mix it all up, set it on the plate, and then I put the protein or the meat or whatever is there. When Lindsay made the lunch, I got a beautiful bowl, I got lettuce here, I got couscous here, I got olives here, I got chicken here, and there might have been something else here. And it was all the same stuff, but what made me chuckle was how it was presented. And it was presented like a left brain person would present it, all very neatly organized. Whereas when I make a salad, it's just thrown into a bowl and away we go. Nothing wrong with either of them, but we all operate differently because we all think differently. We're all hardwired differently. And I was laughing at this, and Lindsay was like, oh my goodness, yeah, that's so me. So notice these wee things in your day-to-day life, all right? If you have a very messy car, if you have a messy bedroom or house, that tells me you have a messy mind, all right? And whether you want to admit that or not, I think you will agree. So really start to look for evidence in your environment of what is going on. Now, the big thing here is, guys, don't look at your results and get obsessed with them, okay? Don't look at your results and become emotionally involved in them. Look at them to look at them, and then stay in what I call a neutral position. Don't let your emotions do anything. Just think from your consciousness and go, okay, what is this telling me? What new thought or what new perception should I take in order to move forward? Now, in reality, we don't do that. We just kind of are in a fast-paced living world where everything is go, go, go. Don't take the foot off the gas because we're doing this and we don't really know why. We're just continuing to do the same things because they've got us these results, and I'm so desperate to hold on to these results that I don't want to take the foot off the gas, but I know ultimately it's not really working. And the cycle goes on. Now, can anybody who's listening resonate with that? Do you ever feel like it's just busy, 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 but you're not really getting much done? Yeah? Well, that is because of your paradigm, because of your thinking, and ultimately it's because of your awareness. If you don't know how to kind of just press the pause button, get everything organized so it's goal focused, you are just going to keep going around in circles. Alright, so if you haven't watched my Level Up webinar, check that out. And of course, we've got our course coming up at the end of this month, 3-day masterclass live with me. If you've ever wanted to get a little bit of mentoring from me, this is the one to be on. I've left the link in the comments box. 3 days, 7 levels. We are going to teach you how to skip the rungs and take that quantum leap. Okay? And one of the things we will talk about, and I'm going to talk about tonight, is failure. Okay? Now, the key is when you look at those results, as I've said, and you see something that you don't like, the goal and the key is to let go of the fear and then move in a new direction, okay? That most people look at the fear, get paralyzed by the fear, and actually stay in the fear, and ultimately stay in the pain. So I want you to think tonight, when you look at your life, when you look at your results, when you look at your performance, you know, look at the pain that's in your life. Now, I know you have some, because we all do. We cannot avoid it. Even if it's not like a huge pain that is keeping you up at night. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I've gaps in my life. I've gaps in my health and fitness. I've gaps in my business. You know, I am just like you. But what I see when I see gaps is opportunity. I see where there can be improvements. And then I work on that to close the gap. I do that with, obviously, our program, Thinking into Results. So this is what we're trying to give you a new perspective. Look through a new lens, a lens of abundance, not a lens of scarcity and fear and lack, because you'll end up just doing a whole lot more work, being in a whole lot of pain, but not really getting the fruits. Oh, sorry, I dropped the light there. Not really getting the fruits for your labor. Okay, and that's not fair to anyone. So, you never feel until you actually give up. You will feel pain. You have to go through the pain. You have to learn from the pain, but you've got to let go of that emotional tag. And then you've got to actually move in the direction of your goal. So this is what this little chapter, Seek Failure, is all about tonight. So it says mistakes are good for you. They tell you what to do and not to do as you continue in the pursuit of your goal. So in episode 9 that I did last week, we were talking about the power of pursuit, about staying totally focused and persist in the attainment of your goal. And he's continuing to say here that that's exactly what you've got to do, and you've got to continue in the pursuit of your goal. Now, before we move on even to that, this is where I find most people realize whether they really have a goal or not. Because if you're the type of person that sets goals, alright, and then moves in the direction of them, but as soon as one little hiccup comes, whether that's something to do with you, whether that's something to do with an outside circumstance or condition, you're like, oh, yeah, no, it wasn't meant to be. And you bail. Okay? Now be honest with yourself. Are you the person that takes the card to get away, or do you go, okay, that angle didn't work, there's going to be another one? Again, this is going to come down to, do you have a fixed mindset or do you have a growth mindset? Somebody who's very fixed will go, oh, well, I tried. And then they don't pursue in the goal. Now that usually tells me a couple of things. One, it tells me they have very strong paradigms. Paradigm is a multitude of habits or beliefs that hold you back. Or, because maybe you have a paradigm of procrastination. You have a real habit of starting something and never finishing it. Starting something and not seeing it through, or saying you're going to do it tomorrow and you never do. That's a habit, guys. And it's a habit that's fixed in your subconscious mind. And you're not going to change it until you know how to get into your subconscious mind. And I'm going to probably guess most of you do not. And if you fight with me on that, I'll go, okay, well, why haven't you changed it? Okay? So I never say these things to trick you. I say, okay, results tell the story. Results always tell the truth. Even when you don't want them to, right? There's sometimes even I'm trying to change a habit or a paradigm, and I'll be like, no, but it was because of this. And inside I'm going, yeah, no, it's not. No, it's me. And that sucks when you start to learn this stuff, but it is so incredible when you get this stuff, because then you're the problem, but you're the solution. You never have to look for anything outside of yourself. You always have the answer. Like, you might be going through something at the moment, and guess what? You have the answer to that problem. You do. Even if it's not a problem, maybe you're just looking the answer for something to move forward. You already have the answer. Problem is, you don't know that. You're not aware of it. This is why I've been really focusing on awareness this month, and why we're putting on this 3-day workshop, because this is what pulls the carpet from under most people's feet. They don't know how to achieve their goal. They maybe don't even know what their goal is. They don't know how this is going to happen. They're not aware of how to multiply their income. Well, that's okay. I wasn't aware. But I didn't stop there. I said, well, hold on a minute. I have no idea. It makes no sense to me. I'm a nurse working 35, 37 hours a week getting this amount. I mean, that's all I know how to do. I went to school, I got an education, I got a job. That's what I was taught. But something wasn't adding up. 1, I was broke. 2, I was overworking. And 3, I was miserable. Health wasn't good. Relationships weren't good. I just kind of felt a bit sluggish every day. Never really had much get up and go. Maybe you can relate. So that was because I wasn't aware that I could actually be more, have more, do more, give more. I didn't ever even contemplate. I didn't even think about goals. Like, some of you guys are so far ahead where I was when I got started, because I'd never even heard of goals. I mean, I'd heard of the loose term of setting like New Year's resolutions. That was it. Nobody ever taught me goals. Nobody ever spoke about goals. Nobody in my friendship circles talked about goals. So when I heard Bob Proctor for the first time talking about goals, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, that seems like a sensible idea. Why have I not done that? Why did I do it? I wasn't aware to do it. Then I wasn't aware of how to actually set and achieve goals. So, I mean, goals is a whole section we're going to do in day one. We're going to actually teach you what goal setting is, what is the art, what is the creation process behind that. Because that is a big stickler for most people. And that's why you're not maybe growing as much as you want to be. And essentially, when you start moving towards a goal, you're going to stretch. You're going to do things that make you uncomfortable. You have to. Because if you don't do that, if you don't change your mindset, you're always going to get the same results. So what he's talking about here is that mistakes are the best teachers you're ever going to have in life. Don't be afraid of failure. And I absolutely agree. Never be afraid of failure. I love when my clients ring me and say, Kim, guess what? You're not going to believe it. I go, bet you I will. And they say, I've just attracted this opportunity to speak or something or sell at something. And I'm going, amazing. And then they go, but I'm really scared. And I go, great. So what do you want? And I just do it to wind my clients up. They all know that. But what we do is we set goals. We don't really believe we're ever going to attract what is needed. Then when we attract it, we go, I have to actually do something. And that is where then the people who are willing and able and persistent and are driven by desire for something bigger than themselves, they're the ones that will step up. The ones that see something scary and go, oh, no, I can't do that, are usually the ones that don't do it. Now, for me, I personally love helping people who are like, no, not me, which actually makes my job harder, okay? But I love it because I hate to see anybody lose out on a life that you only get once. And I feel so strongly about that. And I think everybody feels strongly about that when they stop to think about it. The problem is most people don't think. Most people are working through life day on day out in a routine. We wake up, as soon as our eyes open, boom, we move into routine. You know that. You could probably tell me what your partner's routine is, what your kid's routine is. You know it because we live it every day. What we've got to ask ourselves is this routine that I'm habitually performing every day, just on autopilot, where is it taking me? Is it taking me to somewhere that I enjoy the destination? And am I enjoying the path, the journey to the destination? Because I do not believe that the path of the journey has to be miserable. I think we can live life in an incredible way every day. Every day is a good day. Every day is a new chance to actually realign your vibration, your energy. You could do something today that could take your business or your personal life or your health and fitness to a level that is way beyond what you would get if you just continue to do the same. And you don't know what every day is going to come up with. The problem is we live in the past, and then we use the past to determine what's going to come in the future, which usually means we just get a carbon copy of what happened in the past. Stop that. Even if you're getting good results, stop that, because you're still letting the good results in the past dictate what's going to come in the future. I want you to stop in the now and actually go, hold on a minute, what do I want to create in the future? What would be so incredible that it would impact my family, my health, my wealth, every aspect of your life? Give that some attention. Now when you do that, as I said, it's going to hurt a little bit. Okay, so anytime my clients come to me and they say, I've hit the terror barrier, as we call it. Well, we teach people how to smash through that, but most importantly, the big lesson that I teach is that it is necessary. The pain, the struggle, it is necessary. Now, I don't believe that we need to struggle as much as we're struggling, okay? Struggle is probably the wrong word. What I believe is necessary and what I believe we cannot avoid is problems, is resistance, is things coming to us to kind of what we would call put a spanner in the works. The spanner in the works is actually the tool that you were always looking for that gets the job done quicker. It's not a spanner in the works. It is literally just there to teach you something. to teach you exactly what you need to know in order to get further quicker. And we all want to do that. We all want to multiply our results. A lot of people ask me, Kim, what is it that you do? It's very simple. I help people achieve their goals in less time with less effort. And they're usually way bigger, better, awesome goals that actually they truly want, not just something we think we can achieve. Okay? So then he goes on to say, obviously this is not an argument for acting dumb or making mistakes on purpose. So we can't just go out and go, oh, I failed, whoopsies, that was a learning point. Okay? We want to obviously do it as little as we can, but we've got to know it's necessary. Remember, law of polarity, if there's a problem, there's a solution. Up, down, inside, outside. You can never have one without the other. So if you have a problem, you know that you also have the solution, but you've got to know how to use your mindset to lock into that. Okay? So he says there's three main things that you need to think about. And I wrote them down just to be able to give them for you for handiness. One, you've got to take action orientated and be goal directed. So you've got to ask yourself, are you taking action today? Like, what did you do today? Because it's like what, after nearly 8 p.m., after 8 p.m.? What did you do today that moves you closer in the direction of your goals? Really honestly answer yourself that. What did you do today? If you didn't do anything, ask yourself why. If you did do something, ask yourself, could you have done more? Could you have done that thing with a better attitude, with a better energy? Were you laser focused today? Like, this is what I ask myself, it's what I ask my team, it's what I ask my clients every single week. Go back and assess. You've got to see the gaps. So many people are busy, but their calendars are empty. There's no goal or income producing activities in our calendar. And we're usually doing lots of other work that isn't even ours to do. Okay? So you've got to be action oriented, you've got to be goal directed. So always ask yourself, even today, if you were just to sit tonight and go, what did I actually do today? From the moment I started work or started your day, what did you actually do? Not what you said you were going to do. And I want to, make a note of, did you go and see a friend for, half an hour, but it ended up being 3 hours? Did you say you were going to give somebody 2 minutes, which took half an hour? Like, really list what you did. Because when you look at just today, you're able to ask yourself, was the things that took my time, were they goal oriented? Were they on purpose? And if they weren't, then you have got to look at that and go, why am I giving my life to something that is not improving or growing or expanding my life? Really, really good questions to ask yourself. The second point is test the limits of what you can accomplish. So if you start to really analyze your performance on a weekly basis, which is what I advise, then you're going to actually be able to see, did I stretch myself? Did I go all in? Could I have went 5 minutes longer on that? Could I have put more focus and energy into that content I was creating? Or maybe it's a conversation you're having in a sales situation. Could you have followed up better? Could you have done more research this week? Could you have run an extra mile in whatever your exercise is? Ask yourself in everything that you've done, are you giving it your all? Because if you don't know that, then you don't know that. And what you don't know, you don't know. And that's a big part of awareness. If you're not aware, then how can you ever move forward? Okay? So test the limits. See next week or see tomorrow. Can you get a little bit extra? Like, maybe you can say to yourself that you're going to get exercising, but you haven't done it yet. Why? What is taking precedent over that? And it's probably not even something that you value to be more important. Somebody else says that it's more important. That could be clients, that could be family, that could be friends, that could be other people's opinions. This is your life and you have got to be in the driving seat, okay? Third point, learn from mistakes. So important. Don't make the mistakes, take the pain of the mistakes and not grow from it. Like, anytime that I go through something, and I go through it all the time, because I'm always seeking out failure, I'm always stretching myself, and I'm always looking, and it's painful, and it's brutal, and I'm the first to want to go, I don't want to do it anymore. but I don't give in to my paradigm. I don't give in to that, and I go, but I can. Now there's a difference here. You don't want to put pressure on yourself, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to do this to make you feel capable of this. You are capable of it, and now you're having fun with it. It's a different perspective. So never put pressure. If you're pressuring anything, you're likely to jam the mechanism. You're likely to just be at loggerheads with yourself and be trying to push everything through. That's never going to work. But you want to learn from the mistakes. What can I learn from this? What is the lesson? Maybe you're the person that needs to hear this tonight. What is the lesson in what you're going through? Because I've been through really painful things in my life, and it's exactly why I'm living the life I am today. I always know, even if it's not a huge, terrible, life-changing, altering thing, maybe it's just a problem in business. Maybe it's not even a problem, but I just feel stuck. I now know, because it's a pattern, that if I stay in the pursuit, if I stay persistent, if I keep my focus on the objective, the obstacles always give way. I always know when I feel that, most people go, I'm out. Whereas I just go, and then the tide comes. Every time. In fact, Lindsay can tell me it before I know it sometimes. She's like, something big's coming because you're in that funny vibration. I go, yep, I totally get it. And that knowingness that something good is coming is what anchors you to it and flips everything for you. Because now you're excited about what's coming instead of being in pain of what is. Never look at what is and get stuck in that. You look at what is and you decide, does that serve me or does that not serve me? Okay? He says, think of problems, mistakes, and failure as growing pains. Okay? And what does it mean if your growing pains have stopped? Okay, so ask yourself, what does it mean if my growing pains have stopped? Sorry if my microphone wasn't great there, guys, but hopefully you've got it. It says, think of the problems as mistakes and failure as growing pains. And what does it mean if your growing pains have stopped? So ask yourself right now, are you in pain? Are you, sorry for all the noise, guys. I have my iPad sitting on my computer. So ask yourself, are you in pain right now with your business, with your goal? You should actually be. Because if you're not, then you're not stretching. And if you're not stretching, then you're not growing. So a lot of people, when we talk to them, they say, oh, I just want everything to be okay. I don't want to, I just want to be, happy. I want to be content. I want to be all these things. And I go, you will be, but you've got to let go of what currently is going on in your life and focus on what you want. You've got to be able to let go of the emotion that is attached to the thing if you're ever going to create a new emotion for another outcome that you want. Now that seems so simple when I say it. And it's probably you're thinking, yeah, that's common sense. Everything we teach is common sense, but unfortunately common sense is not common. All right? So and I'm not saying that to put you down, I'm saying it because you're a habitual being. You are, in a habit that you continue to do what you do. So really think about that. As I say, sorry for the sound. I don't know if you caught any of the first 28 minutes, but they were brilliant, I just want to say. So hopefully it is good. Let me know if you did actually hear anything. I'm not going to repeat it because I never can, but I would love to know if you actually heard anything. So the next thing it says, somewhere in the process of growing up, though we seem to get an idea that it is best to avoid problems, parents encourage kids to keep trouble at a minimum and eliminate mistakes as much as possible. Teachers give out A's for getting everything right and nail the student with a low grade for making errors. You can count on the school system to punish a person for failing to perform well academically. Eventually, failure gets a bad reputation. And failure does have a bad reputation. There's a lot of people are very afraid of failing. There's a lot of people very afraid to succeed. And actually, being afraid to succeed is the same as being afraid to fail because you're afraid of the success in case you fail. Good, Suzanne. She still heard it. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. That's good. That's good. So, think about you. Are you trying to keep everything steady, everything certain, everything just Just nobody move a muscle. Just keep it as it is. If that is, then I know you're coming from a lack mentality. Okay? Because anybody that is in a growth mindset who wants to grow, and I believe it's everybody, I never count anybody out. Anybody. No man left behind is my kind of tap line or strap line. Because I just don't believe that is the case. I believe that we're all God's highest form of creation. I believe that we all have infinite potential. I believe that, yes, we've all been brought up in different homes, in different cultures, in different habits, in different beliefs, in different religions, but all of that stuff is man-made. We've got to get back to the essence of who we are, and the essence of who we are is growth orientated. But maybe your paradigm, your habits, or your beliefs are hindering that. So imagine your potential like a little flame. Well, it never goes out, okay? But it can go really, 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 really low. And it's always wanting to express itself, but we can minimize it by our thoughts, by our beliefs, and by our habits. Essentially, we call that the paradigm. And that dims our light, if you want to kind of put it that way, okay? But it's always there and it never goes out. So that's why I honestly believe in every single person I meet, because I don't care what your story is. I don't care if you're, if you've no home, if you've no money, I still believe in you. 100%. And I've seen that time and time and time again. People who believe they are the worst in the world, they're completely lost. You're not lost. And you got to stop saying that you're lost. You got to stop saying that you're tired. You got to stop saying that you're busy. You got to stop saying that you're overweight if you want to be the opposite to any of those things. Like, how many times today have you said, I'm tired, I'm stuck, I'm busy, I'm this, I'm that? I am is the most powerful 2 words in the entire universe. Basically, think of the word I, or the words I am, as a magnet. Anything you put after an I am, you're just, give me more of that. Okay, that's literally how the mind works in the most simplest way put. That's why we hear about powerful affirmations. I am strong, I am confident, I am abundant. And we go, oh yeah, they're lovely little things, and I would love to believe that, but I don't, and I'm not going to sit and chant them. Well, first, we don't ask you to chant them. And second, that's up to you. It's all a choice. If you decide that this stuff isn't for you, then ask yourself, why do you keep listening? Why do you keep looking at it? I'll tell you why. Because the essence of you, the little flame, when it hears this material, it starts to like burn up. Now, what happens is, because it starts to go, and the reason that happens is the truth resonates. As soon as the truth of you maybe listens to something on this or something else, it's like you come alive. It's why you read the personal development books. It's why you watch the YouTube clips. But the problem is, you still have the paradigm. And as the flame, as you want to express yourself more, the paradigm becomes more aggressive. Then every time you want to step out, the paradigm will go, nope. What if this happens? What if that happens? It's all what ifs. And then that seems so scary and so painful, our dream disappears. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about when I was on the Level Up webinar. This is all to do with awareness, guys. What I'm talking about there is being kind of at level 2. Level 2 is mass state. When you just kind of follow the masses, you do what everybody else does, and you're not aware of anything else, okay? A lot of people get stuck at that level. Level 2 of 7, okay? Then when you get to level 3, you start to think, you know what? I want to express my uniqueness. I think I do have something more to give. I think I would like to have this or do that. And you start to think. But it's as soon as you get that point, the paradigm, the little voice from within goes, no, you can't because of this, or you failed that other time, or what about this, or that might cost you this, or that, blah, 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 blah. Ask yourself what it's costing you to stay at that level, guys. Really ask yourself that. What is it costing you to stay at the level you're performing at? It's costing you in time, it's costing you in health, it's costing you in relationships, it's costing you leaving money on the table in your business. You don't even realize how much more you could be doing. And when I say more, that does not mean more action. Remember, it's 95% mindset, 5% strategy. That is so exciting to me, because when you get that and you start to learn how to move up the levels, which is what we're teaching for the 3 days, like I am going to go deep dive. Like, you see the content I give. We're going 35 minutes, despite the fact you couldn't hear me for the first 20. All of this is free. And you know, I never worry about that. A lot of people say to me, Kim, do you ever worry about giving too much? No, you can't. You can never put good out and get bad back. It doesn't work. It goes against the universe. So my core purpose in this life is to waken people up. And by wakening up, you start to realize there are levels in which us human beings operate on. There are 7 main levels of awareness. And depending on the level you're on will depend the results in your life. But you don't have to have anything to move up the levels. You just need to change your thinking. That's free. That's something you have. You don't need a diploma for it. You don't need a piece of paper to say you're good enough for it. You don't need your family to agree. You don't need to have grown up with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't need anything apart from the will to do it. And that's what excites me. So, this last part in the book says, in the world at large, however, failure can be a friend. There is a certain magic in mistakes. Problems, foul-ups, breakdowns push you back on track, educate you, leaving you better equipped to navigate accurately toward your goal. Here's the other important reason to seek failure. Unless you're willing to stretch yourself beyond the point where you know you can perform, basically error-free, you'll never find out how good you really are. If you're unwilling to taste failure, there's no way on earth you can taste the sweet fruits of your true potential. So true that is. So ask yourself today, guys, what are you doing to stretch? What are you doing that pushes you in the face of fear and adversity? You cannot avoid it in life, but you can be equipped to deal with it. That's what we teach. Okay? We don't just say, oh, when you come and work with us, you know, life is rainbows and sunflowers and all the rest of it. Okay? Well, it can be, yes, but you are the one that creates it, not me. But I give you the tools in order to create that. And you can create anything you want. Think of it like a blank canvas. You get all the paint in the world, you can do anything with it. But you don't realize that you've got more than 2 colors. Maybe your life is maybe black and white right now. And I'm not saying that to depress you or put you down, but we can all add some more color to our lives. We can all start to blend different colors to get another idea. We can do different shapes. Like, you can do anything with your canvas. And maybe you're painting the same picture every day. Maybe it's the same picture in your mind that you're holding on to. And that's defining who you believe you are, which then defines how you perform activities, and it's the activities that are then creating the results in your life. So, I hope you've enjoyed this session. I have to jump and get on to another call here, but it's been awesome being with you. I love coming in live to this group. As I say, 3 days at the end of the month, 20th, 29th, and 30th. They are 3 full days, okay? I think it's from 10 to 4 Friday, Saturday, and then maybe 10 to 1. We'll maybe let you loose on the Sunday a wee bit quicker. But these are 3 days where I am going to give you everything, all right? Where you're going to, it's basically like a crash course. How to get you quantum leaping your results in 3 days. We're going to be going over your goals, not just teaching around goals, not just teaching you this sort of stuff, but actually then going, okay, what are your goals? I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm not going to embarrass you. You're not going to have to do anything you don't want to do, but I'm going to get you to ask yourself questions that are going to give you clarity. Like I said earlier on, I'm not the one with the answers. You're the one with the answers. I'm the one that helps you get the answers. Think of me like a personal trainer for your mind, okay? Your personal trainer does not give you the 6-pack. You already have the 6-pack, but you're not in the condition for the 6-pack to show, okay? I know you already have the ability and the answers and everything that you desire, but you're not aware of it, and I have the tools to help you become aware of it, okay? Which is great. Because once you've done it once, you can do it over and over and over again. So day one is going to be all about goals and really getting to see where it is you are, where you want to be, who you are, all that great stuff. Day two is going to be looking then at your self-image. Who do you believe you are? Because we have got to change your habits and your beliefs if you are going to change your results, okay? It's not good enough to have goals. It's not good enough to write affirmations. It's not good enough to have a vision board. That is all like so not important when it comes to, do you actually have the programming, the subconscious wiring to execute to get these goals? Anybody can write down a list of goals. Anybody can do that. But it's the person who can achieve the goal that is a different way of thinking. So we're going to teach you all of that. And then the third day, I'm going to leave as a surprise. But it is going to be awesome. And if you've ever been on anything I've ever done before, you will know I always over-deliver. Always over-deliver. Give way more than what I'm paid for. And we have made this a price that anybody can get onto. And if you don't, and if you find an excuse to why you can't afford it, then I again ask you, how much is that excuse really costing you? Because ultimately, you cannot let the reason that you're stuck be the reason that you stay stuck. All right? So, guys, I've put the link into the chat. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Please take away something from this. Ask yourself, are you stretching? How can, maybe even getting on this course is the thing that you do that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. Do it. I promise, hand on heart, you will not be disappointed. All right? Have a wonderful evening. I will be back over the next kind of couple of weeks. So will our coaches. And we're excited to bring loads of exciting stuff to you and content. So I didn't see any questions. So yeah, that's me. Over and out. Have a great night, guys. Bye.